Freedom convoy of truckers up in Canada is growing. They've blocked a major border crossing between Detroit and Canada, jammed at the Ambassador Bridge. And now the Department of Homeland Security is warning that a trucker convoy also protesting mask and vaccine mandates could kick off here in the U.S. starting on Super Bowl Sunday. Joining me now to discuss are Liz Wheeler, host of The Liz Wheeler Show, and David Harris Jr., author of Why I Couldn't Stay Silent. David, I'm going to start with you a little bit here. This thing is growing, and wow, are these guys patriotic, and wow, have the citizens surrounded themselves with love and support for these truckers. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what's taking place, unless you're listening to the liberal mainstream media that just continues to call everybody there fascists and racists, although I see a lot of people that look like me in that group as well. But when you see the video clips that are coming out from the people that are there, it's about love, peace, and freedom. I mean, there's a revolution that's taking place in Canada right now that I think America should take notice of. They are taking their country back. They are putting it out there. They're saying, we're not leaving until you drop the mandates. We the people is what they're literally doing. And their prime minister better take notice, because if they continue to keep this blockade up and keep it going, I mean, truckers run the country. They run every country. It's theirs and ours, and it'll shut the country down and bring it to a screeching halt. And Canadians will be, the prime minister will be holding the bag if that happens. So it's an amazing thing to see what's taking place there.
A couple of minutes before air, Liz, I saw this video clip, and we got the producers to scramble and get it cut for the show, because this blows me away. Take a look at this. Take a listen, folks.
Man, you don't have to show him anything. It's against the law. You doesn't.
Hey,
for what? Hey.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Failing to ID.
Hey! That's assault. I've got it all on video.
You failed to ID.
Yeah, he failed to ID.
Get back! Hey! Get back!
Stop
Get back!
We're back. We're filming. We're doing our part.
Get back!
All right, so that gentleman, that older gentleman, you know what his crime was, folks? He beeped his horn. He honked his horn in support of the truckers. Can you imagine that? Liz, weigh in on this and imagine what's going to happen when they tell us not to beep our horn for the truckers here in the United States.
It's absolutely shocking to see that on videotape. I mean, thank goodness for that citizen journalist who I assume whipped out his cell phone and recorded this, because it would be hard to believe just how draconian this has become. I mean, in Ottawa, the mayor there said that any citizen who took gasoline to the truckers would be penalized, fined, and perhaps arrested. And the video of the citizens with their gas cans refusing to comply with the mayor's threat, that it's what's necessary. This is what has to be done, Eric. We have to have this mass uprising, a peaceful uprising, of course, obviously, of citizens who just say, no, we're not going to comply. We're not going to stop honking because you tell us to stop honking. We're not going to stop taking gasoline to the truckers because you say to stop taking gasoline to the truckers. I was in Washington, D.C. just a week or two ago, and as you know, there's a vaccine mandate at all the restaurants there. There's one restaurant, or there was one restaurant, unfortunately it's past tense now, called the Big Board, which was refusing to comply with Mayor Bowser's vaccine passport. They were not checking people's vaccine cards. And I thought to myself, listen, this one establishment is doing the right thing. They're standing up for what's right, and they're going to get shut down. But if every single establishment, every single person, every citizen stood up and refused to comply, then we'd be able to push back on this tyranny, and it's what needs to be done.
Let me bring it over to David. Final thought here, David. About 30 seconds or so. Those cops were arresting an old man because he beeped his horn. I got to think, I'm hoping the men and women in blue here in the thin blue line won't jump on board if Biden's America says arrest people for beeping the horn in support. Final thought.
I would hope the exact same thing, Eric. The problem is they're pushing this mandate on the police, on our fire departments. And they're pushing out all the people that are not just yes men and yes women. Yeah. So if all you're left with in our police department are the people that are complying, then why would they stop complying when the government says go arrest every citizen that's doing anything like these Canadians are doing? Go arrest anybody that's standing in the way of our big elite agenda. So I would hope that men and women in blue would stand up for our freedoms, but they're trying to take those people out. So it's
damaging.
It's hard, brother.
It's hard. Liz Wheeler, David Harris Jr., thank you both so much for joining us.